does the world have the computing power it needs for India to become an AI-first society?
Not yet, but the world is rapidly going to have to work together to solve that problem. A question I love to ask people is, how many GPUs would you like working for you all the time? How many GPUs would you personally like thinking about your problems, helping you with your work, implementing your ideas, writing the software you want, operating the humanoid robots you'll have in your home and garden and everything else, and building new houses for you, whatever? Like, how many do you want? And people give different answers. No one ever says less than one. Some people say 1,000. I would like 1,000. If you go multiply that out, I say there's 8 billion people in the world. We have no way to deliver 8 trillion GPUs anytime soon. I mean, that just seems ridiculous.
Yep.
We're not going to do that, to be clear. We're not going to do that on Earth, at least. But I do think it shows it points to the level of ambition we need to have about how much compute capacity we're going to build out. And this will be the most expensive, complex infrastructure project the world has ever collectively taken on for all of our welfare. So we're going to need a lot of compute capacity. The good news, it would be impossible to build this out the old-fashioned way, but we'll have AI and robots helping us do this, and we'll figure it out.
And is that why space keeps coming up nowadays? There's another space race that I keep hearing about.
I honestly think the idea with the current landscape of putting data centers in space is ridiculous. It will make sense someday. But if you just do like the very rough math of launch costs relative to the cost of power we can do on Earth, to say nothing of how you're going to fix a broken GPU in space, and they do break a lot still, unfortunately, we are not there yet. There will come a time, space is great for a lot of things. Orbital data centers are not something that's going to matter at scale this decade.
The amount of natural resources that are going into the data centers, the amount of water, the amount of...
Water is totally fake. It used to be true. We used to do evaporative cooling in data centers, but now that we don't do that, you see these like things on the internet where don't use ChatGPT, it's 17 gallons of water for each query or whatever. This is completely untrue, totally insane, no connection to reality. What is fair, though, is the energy consumption, not per query, but in total, because the world is now using so much AI, is real, and we need to move towards nuclear or wind and solar very quickly.
There was we had Bill Gates last year, and I asked him this question, and he gave a very interesting statistic. At that time, apparently, we calculated that there were 10 iPhone worth of battery would go for every ChatGPT query. And now it's come down to 1 iPhone or 1.5 iPhone battery life's worth of energy for every ChatGPT query. Is that correct?
There's no way it's anything close to that much.
It's much less than that?
Way, way, way less.
Okay, all right. But his theory was that the AIs will learn from human evolution to be more efficient in how much energy they consume.
One of the things that is always unfair in this comparison is people talk about how much energy it takes to train an AI model relative to how much it costs a human to do one inference query. But it also takes a lot of energy to train a human. It takes like 20 years of life and all of the food you eat during that time before you get smart. And not only that, it took like the very widespread evolution of the 100 billion people that have ever lived and learned not to get eaten by predators and learned how to like figure out science and whatever to produce you, and then you took whatever you took. So the fair comparison is, if you ask ChatGPT a question, how much energy does it take once its model is trained to answer that question versus a human? And probably AI has already caught up on an energy efficiency basis measured that way.